Hello, loyal viewers. Welcome to this amazing game, called by many the best in the series, or at the very least the best in that first trilogy, and where Castlevania 4 has many loyal fans as well, as do Symphony of the Night and the new ones. Now, I have to be honest, Castlevania 3, I kind of really suck at this game. Unlike the first two, I never really played it when I was young. I never owned this game. Actually, the first time I played Castlevania 3 was it was less than a year ago. It was last summer, actually, summer of 2009. So I'm really behind the ball. I mean, I guess because of that, I was never a fan of the Castlevania series in general. Like, I'd played the first two a lot, but I wasn't a fan of it like I was all the other big, huge Nintendo series. But after playing this recently, I was like, wow, this is what everyone's talking about. This is why everyone loves Castlevania. I mean, Symphony of the Night was okay too, but it felt more like Super Metroid than it did the first two Castlevania games. So, wow. Now I have to go try Castlevania 4, because I've never played that either, or 5. But anyway, so we don't have Simon Belmont here. We have Trevor Belmont, an ancestor of Simon. So I think it's around 100 years back. There's a really good timeline I found on Wikipedia or something about the Belmont family, but it's basically a prequel to the first game, so should be fun. Now, actually, I think I might play this game through like 2 or 3 times. If you're familiar with this game, you'll already know this, but in case you're not, there's a couple different paths you can take throughout the game. Okay, well, there's the intro done. Okay, hit start. And this password is where you can start. That'll start you off at some future level. And in fact, some passwords start you with a different character, at least in the English version of the game. I couldn't manage to get a Japanese copy of this game. I would have loved to, but maybe when I do a different playthrough, I'll play the Japanese version, but yeah, so I want to eventually play through every single level in the game, so I'll have to play the game through multiple times. Oops. And because I suck, I'm going to put in this semi-built-in cheat code. So if you put in your name as help me with a space in between, that should work. We'll start off with 10 lives instead of the 2 or 3 that you normally do. I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for this. Same time, I know some people have commented that, oh, you suck because you used the turbo controller at that part of the game, or I don't know, you suck because of this, that, and the other thing. You used Infinite Lives Game Genie code in this game or that game. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not here to be the most skilled gamer on YouTube, far from it, but I hope you be entertaining and have fun, so. What was I saying? Yeah, so for this one I'm going to take what I consider to be the easiest path in the game. Although, it doesn't mean it's easy, flat out easy. It's still going to be difficult, don't get me wrong, especially for me. I know a lot of people have done LPs of this game, like Nintendo Capri-san, which you may not have heard of, but he did a really good LP of this game. He, didn't use any codes. He's really skilled at this game, unlike me. So, maybe lots of take a drink type moments. Drinking game, every time I die, you take a drink. No. Alcoholism is bad, especially if you're underage, but yeah, so, and the Japanese version, a lot of this, these religious type of symbolism is different, and there's more nudity, and a whole bunch of things about it are different, so I'd really like to get a copy of that for a different playthrough. So, depending how well or how badly I do in this time around, I'll have to, of course, practice a lot for the harder levels. I'll let you know when we get to a fork in the road. But for now, yeah. Oops, I shouldn't have jumped on that guy, probably. And, oh yeah, I was talking about characters, so along with the ability to choose different paths along the way, choose this level or that level, this path or that path, you can get different characters in the game. There's 4 characters in the game. You hit select to change between them. You can only have 2 at once, though. But I think maybe it's only in the English version. But anyway, you can put in certain passwords, so you can start with the character right from the beginning. I don't know if I'm going to do that for sure, but definitely I want to at least get some playtime with all the characters, as well as all the levels. But that might be a ways down the road. So, like, after I finish uploading this game, I might play several other games in the meantime to get some practice in and such, break it up a bit, and then play this game again. But I talk too much. Let's just get some action in. I don't think I wanted that axe. I think I wanted to keep the holy water for the boss. Now, unlike the first game, the holy water doesn't absolutely destroy every single boss. It does work very well on a few, but it's not as good in some ways. Although one of the characters is pretty much a boss destroyer. Oh yeah, holy water works great in these guys too. Is there any health over here? That'd be nice. Oh look, I wasn't even sure. I'm probably gonna miss lots of things like that, like health ups and bonuses, and if I just attacked, that probably would have taken care of that, wouldn't it? Oh, I shouldn't have walked forward so much. Okay, those guys usually do 3 fireballs at once. Yeah. Sometimes I know there's food above the door right there. At least once or twice. Yeah, and the level numbering system is really weird. You notice up there it says block 1-04. So at first it's kind of like Mario, like, okay, we're world 1, level 4, level 1-4. But with the different splits of the path, they start numbering them with letters, so it's a little confusing. Because you'll get like block A1, block 1, it'll be like 3-A1 or 3-01 or 3-X01 or Y01. It's like A, B, X, and Y or something. Really, I think it's only... I don't know, I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to learn about the past, I'm sure you can do it on your own time, but... This guy's pretty easy, for the most part. You can just kind of... You can kill him before he kills you, no matter what. I mean, the holy water makes it easy. Yeah, but... He moves so slow and he has no recovery hit time, so... That one's pretty straightforward. Now, you may not believe me that I suck at this game, but it'll become apparent later. Some of the later levels that I'm less familiar with. Do we get a choice here? Yes. This is one of the 2 choices. So if you go up, it's the clock tower, and you get Grant, you get access to a certain character. But the clock tower is a harder level. Otherwise, you can go down for an easy level, and then it meets up with that path almost right away. So I don't want Grant in this playthrough. I'm going to play as Silpha. So there's Grant, Silpha, and Alucard. I'm not going to talk about them much right now. Again, you can look that up if you're interested, or you might already know it if you know the game. But eventually I'll get Silpha and I'll go for her. Wow. One hit kill, I forgot about that. Okay. So we're in 3-0-0. I think if we went to the clock tower, that would be level 2. That would be 2-01 up to 2-0 something. So the letters don't come into play quite yet. At least we skipped over level 2. I'll try to mention a little bit about how the level forks work, but... Uh-oh. Oh, another thing I read, I think in the Japanese version that Grant is a lot more powerful than he is in this version. Well, he can basically what he can climb up walls, kind of like in the game Little Samson. He can walk along walls and ceilings, which is nice. But he's more limited in what weapons he can use. Like, I don't think he can use a holy water. He can only use axe and the knife or something like that. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I read in the Japanese version that as a default, he always has a throwing knife. Like, even when his weapon box is empty, his default is, instead of a knife, he has a throwing knife. Whereas in the English version, he just has a stabbing knife as his default, and he has to actually pick up a throwing knife. Now, I might be wrong, tell me. Oh, now here, this is exactly where you'd end up if you took the clock tower path. So, this path is way shorter. Like, you go to the clock tower, there's 6 stages, 2.01 up to 2.06. Then you come back here, whereas the lower path is only that one little stage. So this seems like a natural place to stop, so next time I'll just keep going through World 3 and on, and see you next time. Enjoy.